are of different communities. I know people are here from Dearborn, from Detroit, from Ann Arbor, from all over the place. But yeah, if we can come a little bit closer, I'll go ahead and get started. The way I feel right now is that I feel like something like this really unites us, not only as students, as members of different organizations, but as you know, active community members, active people in society. We had community members that didn't end up following us, but we had community members with us. We had faculty members with us. And we just to show that the unity that this kind of thing brings together is just amazing for students, faculty members, and community members to come together for something that's so pertinent to social justice, so pertinent to human rights. I think that's what really is the core of what we're going for today. And I just really want to thank everybody for coming out today, because that's been a huge issue with not only on this campus, I'm sure at UMD as well, I'm sure at Wayne State, I'm sure at MSU, where you have different, you know, pro-Palestinian organizations, different Muslim organizations, different Arab organizations, different human rights organizations, different social justice organizations, but they're divided for some reason. And these kind of things bring us together and really make us realize that at the end of the day, we're all in it for the same thing. So that's what really, I just want to thank everybody for coming today. Thank you so much.
Let me get a bike
just to get us rounded up together. We left that room empty. We left that room empty. So we sent a really good message. That's all that matters. So anybody else, I know there's people from other organizations. If everybody wants to step out and really just express themselves and how they feel right now, that'll be great. And we're also passing out quarter sheets to passerbys who are interested.
Tiger social justice group and groups from campus from UVM Dearborn, UVM Ann Arbor. Social justice is a big key word that everyone's using. It's like equality for all. At the end of the day, the Palestinian issue is nothing more than a social justice issue. It's not a Jews or a Muslim or an Arab. It's a social justice issue. It's a group of people who have been dehumanized and picked on for way too long. So.
Good stuff.
Come on, I know there's a lot of people that want to say something.
We didn't hear what he was trying to say because we came in late.
Okay, so basically what he's saying is that he started off by saying that unfortunately because of the fact that he lives in Israel, he didn't have the opportunity to choose at 18 what college or what major he wants to study. At 18 he had to choose where he wanted to serve war. And he pitched it as Israel is doing, and all their things that they're doing is in reaction to being provoked by Hezbollah and Hamas and people in Gaza and people in Lebanon. So that's what he said. And
in reaction,
I don't know if you guys heard his story, which I thought was really funny.
I just heard he said surf. Oh, he wishes he could go surfing, guys.
Yeah. I actually felt bad for him, you know?
Me too, man. I would have went and bought him a
Because in Gaza, they didn't have water to surf in, you know?
No, he was talking about, I don't know.
Clean water.
What real story got to me was the fact he was talking about a story that happened in South Lebanon. Water across the street, you're in a war zone. You don't expect to get shot at? That's first off. And second of all, he tried to say that South Lebanon was completely deserted and there was no civilians.
Bullshit, my mom was there.
Hezbollah had all the villages. So, I mean, it's
not true, because we were there.
Yeah.
And it's great that we were there, because we know the kind of propaganda that they're trying to pitch off.
Right.
It's that everything that they're doing is in response to everything that Hezbollah or Hamas or these so-called terrorists are doing. And I think Nora had a great point, that whenever they talk about Palestinian people, they would say, they use that word interchangeably with terrorists. Like, the uneducated ear, like, you would equate that. It's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. I was quite surprised. I think that we can't simply just limit ourselves to being like reactionary. So when we see stuff like this happen, we just react to it. We have to be working on these types of things year round, at all times, because at the end of the day, these guys shouldn't have been allowed here on campus. They're criminals. They're currently occupying another station, so they're criminals under international law, and here they are welcome on our college campus. So this is something that we have to prevent. We have to put the measures in place that prevent that from happening. So I think we need to work on it year-round. We need to be united, like Ahmed was saying, and this is something that we need to be progressive about until we leave campus and to the end of time, really.
And to realize that you have the right of way. Look, there was 4 people in there.
4.
The rest is us. So at the end of the day, we have the truth and the facts. So don't be afraid to stand up and say what it is. Because if you don't do it, who's going to do it? And to create allies. Because like I was saying, at the end of the day, that's what counts. I mean, it's powerful when I stand up in front of you guys and say, but at the end of the day, I'm a Palestinian, so you could view it as I have a bias. But if I had my white friend or my black friend standing up here and saying the same message I am, it's so much more powerful. Look, at the end of the day, everybody in the Middle East is going to have to go through the same thing as the civil rights. You have to build your house. You have to build your network. And we can't be doing things in Ann Arbor without communicating with So I think you should take this as an opportunity to start networking and working with each other.
Sure.
And make your events larger. Instead of having 50 people, have 100.
I think, sorry, if I may.
I think that we should be proud of ourselves not just because of the message that we put forth today, but the way in which we did it. I know I was sitting there and wallahi, if there wasn't duct tape on my mouth, I don't know what would have happened. I was
That's true.
there like I know all of our blood was boiling to see, to see this kind of atrocity and these kinds of lies and this brainwashing and people to say it so nonchalantly. But the fact that we actually were silent and we walked out and we stuck to our plan, and we followed in the paths of people like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, people who actually made a change through peace. So I think we should really take that home and take that peacefulness throughout all our events and really make that sort of the theme of the way that we teach it. So, but good job, Safe. You guys are amazing.
Good job, everybody. Good stuff.
Anybody else want to express how they feel right
My
now?
man was really flustered by it. Like, I don't know for those in the back, but for those in the front, like, when you first took the church off, like, you didn't know what to do. Like, you were looking around, like,
It was reaching for his rifle. What are you talking about? Yeah.
especially when we all said I'm about to leave, like, you look at the other guy, like, you could tell, like, he had no clue what to do. Sorry about that.
Well, that's because they don't have guns.
You know our best.
They would have known. They have those guns.
I mean, as much as we can think of this as a humanitarian issue, which it is, and maybe a political issue, which it might be, I think at the end of the day, what made our message so powerful today is the names on each of these papers. At the end of the day, it was Nada Mardi that had to die as a result of an Israeli soldier killing him, or Aman al-Zaya, or any of these people. I think it's important for us, as people who care about the Palestinian issue, not to become bored with the issue. And let me explain what I mean by that. A lot of the time, we have an event like this, or a silent march, or something like that. And everybody's like, yeah, but what is that going to do? Is that going to free Palestine? It might not free Palestine. But at the end of the day, as long as we keep reminding ourselves and reminding others of the issue that is, of the crisis, the humanitarian crisis that is Palestine, then the issue will never die. And it lives on through us and the stories that we have about these people and the stories that we have about families that we know that have been affected by this crisis. So thank you guys all for coming.
And every person you tell...
Hey, should we go back? I'm joking. He actually opened up the answer session.
Right on the spot. I was like, yeah, we want to talk to you.
Alright, so, anybody else? Alright, cool. I just want to thank everybody for coming one more time, guys. And the man said it was safe. It really was not safe. It was hope. It was ASU, it was members from Muslim Association, it was community members, it was all of us put together. And really when we come together and do something like this, it has a resonating impact. But I'm telling you right now, if it was only safe members, it would not be as crucial, as big as it was today. So I just want to thank everybody one more time for coming out and really see this as an opportunity to start networking, to start showing up at each other's events, to start collaborating with them. Because at the end of the day, when one of us, an individual, has the opportunity to make an impact on somebody else, even if it's only one person, you're still making a change in the world. And that's what we're here for as teams. And remember that the majority of activism in the world, and the majority of change comes from civil rights. Look at the civil rights movement, look at other movements that happen in history. It comes from right here. So just remember that. So once again, I want to thank you guys, and I definitely